Good day, folks. Good day. Good day. It's your guy, Inspire Seeker, coming to you live once again. We're indoors, guys. Hope this message finds you well. I'm doing great. This one is entitled Empaths Educate Yourself to Empowerment. Again, Empaths Educate Yourself to Empowerment. Guys, today has been one of those days. I've been trying to record this video outside, but Mother Nature just wouldn't allow it. Alright. So here we are from indoors. Let's get right into it. I'd like to start by saying this, guys. It's been said so many times over that knowledge is power. I would like to add to that. Alright. There's no one more powerful on this earth in the face of darkness and toxicity more than an awakened, educated, and healed empath. This is what we call an empowered empath, guys. Narcissists and other toxic individuals hate. Okay, and hate is a strong word. I don't like to use hate, but let's call it spade a spade. They hate this type of empath, guys, and I'm gonna tell you why. Keep on listening to this video. All right. An empath who has awakened to what the world around them truly is has no time for the BS, guys. Plain and simple. All right. This is an empath who has been injured, possibly, who has mastered the art of healing and releasing, who has mastered the art of taking their power back and holding on to their power and refusing to give their power away. This is the type of empath I'm talking about, all right? And this type of empath scares the narcissists and other toxic individuals to their core, all right? Because they make them feel exposed, guys, all right? When they come around this type of empath, guys, they feel like they have an extra set of eyes watching them, as if they can see right through their soul, all right? So, empaths, educate yourself to empowerment, all right? Whether you are awakened or not, educate yourself to empowerment, because an empowered empath repels these toxic, manipulative, narcissistic individuals, all right? Like I said earlier, they feel exposed in your presence, all right? They feel as if you're seeing right through their soul, and they don't want nothing to do with you, all right? They feel like you've identified who they are, and you can see right through them. You can see their intentions, all of that, all right? And they don't want that. An empowered empath, guys, has learned how to take their power back. They have learned how to hold on to their power. They refuse to give their power away. And this type of empath, guys, is a very dangerous empath, all right? Narcissists cannot stand this type of empath. Now, one truth that we all need to understand, guys, is that when it comes to these toxic, narcissistic, manipulative fools, guys, there's a method to their madness, so to speak, right? There's a method to their madness. They need what I call a window of approach, okay? And this is some kind of trigger. This is some kind of weakness or some kind of fault that they find in their victims, all right? And also, guys, from the initial interaction, they know how to identify their potential victims, okay? They know how to identify their potential victim just by having an initial conversation with you, all right? They will pose certain questions to you to draw certain information out of you, which will help them decide, all right? And this is how they're able to know who to mess with and who not to mess with, all right? But when they encounter an educated empath, when they encounter an empowered empath, it works in both ways. While they're trying to figure out the empath has already identified them, all right? Because an empowered empath can see an individual's true intentions from the very beginning, All right, from that initial conversation, they can identify if you have good intentions for them or if you don't. All right, and they will send these individuals packing the moment they come in. All right, just as fast as they come in, they'll send them packing. All right, because they've already identified what their true intentions are. All right, now, guys, when it comes to these toxic individuals, they go for what I call the lowest hanging fruit. Okay, this is when they, from that initial conversation with you, or from that initial interaction with you, as they try to figure out or pinpoint an angle from which to come at you, as they try to identify a weakness from which to use, okay, from which to get closer to you, they go for what I call the lowest hanging fruit. All right, they're evaluating who you are, they're evaluating what your level of emotional maturity is. All right, because when it comes to these individuals and the way they operate, the lower your emotional maturity, the easier it will be for them to get into your fold and extract supply from you, extract energy from you. All right, but if you have high emotional maturity, guys, this will make their agenda difficult to come across. All right, and so they avoid these types of individuals. All right, and that's exactly what an educated, what an empowered empath does. All right, they have very high levels of emotional maturity, which makes them resistant to these attacks, which makes them resistant to this type of abuse. All right, and so what ends up happening is, when these toxic individuals finally realize that you have very high levels of emotional maturity, they will quickly get away from you, because they know that not only are you going to make their job difficult or their agenda difficult to come across, but you're also going to identify them. You can identify them. You can identify what their truest intentions are from the jump. All right. And so when they realize that you have this high level of emotional maturity, they know. All right. They know, because if you have healed, guys, there's really no way to trigger you. All right, if you have healed, you've educated yourself, there's really no way to trigger you. And these individuals need a trigger in order to get closer to you. All right, they need that window of approach that I said earlier. All right, in order to get in closer to you. It could be some trauma that you experienced before. It could be a whole lot of stuff. All right, it could be codependence. It could be lack, victim mentality. It could be a myriad of things, guys. All right, and they'll, once they identify this, they'll capitalize off of that. Okay, they'll capitalize on that and trying to get in closer to you. Okay, because the way they will approach you is that they're not gonna come in your face and say, "Hey, I'm here to abuse you," or "Here, I'm toxic." Okay, they're gonna come in a very nice way. I'm here to be a friend to you. I'm here to be a lover to you. In one of those ways. All right, I'm here to be somebody nice to you, of course. All right, but make no mistake, guys. Deep down, they have an ultimate agenda. Deep down. All right. Again, deep down beneath all of that, okay, they have an ultimate agenda, and that's just a smoke screen for what they intend to do. All right, they're just trying to get in and get closer to you so they can carry out this agenda. All right, so make no mistakes about that, guys. All right, and like I said, the only way to empower yourself is through education, guys. The empowered empath, guys, has healed. They have educated themselves, and they can identify these things. They can identify these toxic individuals. They can identify their approach. They can identify everything. All right, and they actually make these toxic manipulators feel exposed. They feel like they're seeing right through their soul. All right, and this is why they're able to repel these foes. All right, So keep that in mind, guys. The only way to empowerment, guys, is educating yourself. All right, and I'm not limiting that to you educating yourself only on who you are or what your identity is as an empath, but also to educate yourself and understand that you are in a world of toxicity. You are in a world full of narcissists, all right? And you have a target on your back as an empath in this type of world, all right? And so educate yourself on who your enemy is, so to speak, right? Educate yourself on who these toxic individuals are and the way they operate, of course, okay? Because it's the only way that you'll be able to counter them, or it's the only way that you'll be able to repel them should they approach you in any way. All right, so let's understand that, guys. An educated empath, guys, knows how to shut down this window of approach that I mentioned earlier. All right, because chances are they've been wounded before, they've gone through the healing process, they've released that experience, and they've built a defense. All right, they've built a defense, they've educated themselves and built a defense so as not to experience this again. All right, because one thing that we do, guys, is that once you go through an abusive situation or an abusive process, guys, if you don't educate yourself on it, guys, it will continue happening to you. That cycle will continue happening to you. All right, but the moment you're able to educate yourself, heal from it, and educate yourself, guys, you start to repel this type of behavior from you. All right, and so the educated empath will educate themselves on this, and they'll build a defense around them. They'll empower and strengthen themselves so as to not ever have this experience ever again in their life. Okay, so learn to educate yourself, guys. All right, learn to empower yourself, learn to strengthen yourself. All right, and when it comes to an educated empath, an empowered empath, guys, they keep that window of approach shut. All right, there's no way for you to get to them because they've learned, they've trained themselves on how not to give their power away. All right, they've trained themselves on how to hold on to their power. All right, and they've also trained themselves on how to take their power back. Right, and so there's usually no way to get through to them. All right, and another thing too that we have to understand, guys, is that these toxic manipulative individuals, guys, we have to understand that you're not the first individual that they did this to, or you're not the first individual that they're doing this to. Okay, they've actually done it before. They've done it multiple times over to other people, and now is your turn. Okay, so from the initial conversation or from the initial interaction, they have a drill. Okay, they have a drill of how to get through. Okay, they have a way of how to evaluate you to see if you are a potential victim. All right, if you are someone they could take for a ride. All right, and so while they're having a regular normal, it may seem like a regular normal initial conversation or initial interaction, guys, all under that, guys, there's a lot going on. Okay, they're evaluating you. They're trying to see if you're a potential victim. Okay, if you are someone they can gain from. All right, so bear that in mind as well. All right, because these fools, they go around with an ultimate agenda. All right, they're always seeking something. All right, they're always seeking something, and they're always seeking someone who has that something so they can drain them. All right, an empowered empath, guys, is aware of the world that we live in. All right, they are aware that we live in a world full of toxicity, in a world full of toxic, narcissist, manipulative people. All right, and so They've educated themselves on this. They've empowered themselves. All right. They've learned how to heal. They've learned how to hold on to their power. They've learned how not to give away their power. All right. They've also learned how to take back their power. All right. And they've also learned how to heal and release. Okay. And so they don't have time for the games. Okay. They have no time for the games. And they would often send these guys packing as soon as they identify them, as soon as they come in. All right. So let me end by saying this, guys. All right. As an empath, you should make your empowerment a personal goal. All right. Educating yourself and becoming empowered should become your personal goal. All right. Because in this world that we live in this world full of toxic, narcissistic people, guys, in this world full of toxicity, guys, you as an empath have a target on your back. All right. You have a target on your back if you live in this world full of toxicity. All right. So be aware. All right. And guys, it's the only way. All right. It's your only defense. All right. That's why they said knowledge is power. The more you know, the more you can prove. The more you know, the more you can do. The more you know, the more you can show. All right. Let's understand that. All right. So educate yourself, guys. Make your education a personal goal. All right. And I'm not talking about just educating yourself as an empath only because you're an empath. No, educate yourself as an empath, but also educate yourself in the world you live in, and educate yourself of the people in that world that you live in, those toxic individuals in this world that we live in. So you know, because essentially that's who your enemies are. All right. That's the best way to put it, I guess, right? That's essentially who your enemies are. That's who are targeting you. All right. So when you educate yourself on these things and the way they operate and all of that, as well as build your own defenses, guys, is the only way, all right, to protect yourself and protect your energy from these vampires. All right. So let's understand that, guys. All right. And as I said, guys, when you become educated, when you become empowered, guys, you repel these toxic individuals, all right, because they feel like you could see through their soul, all right. You're able to see them for who they truly are right away, all right. At the initial interaction, at the initial conversation, you were able to identify who they truly are right away, all right. And you send them packing just as quick as they come in, all right. And you actually repel them. They themselves know not to try you because they feel exposed already, all right, when from talking to you and evaluating you. Because remember, they know how to pick their victims. They know how to evaluate and pick their victims, all right. And so from that evaluation, they know not to try you, all right. And from that evaluation alone, you will repel them, all right. So educate yourself, empaths. It's the only way, guys. It's the only way. Okay. So you can identify these fools before they even come in, all right. So I hope I made it clear enough, guys. An empowered empath is an educated empath, awakened or not, all right. They're educated, they've healed, they've learned how to heal, and they've taken their power back. They've learned how to hold on to their power, and so they've repelled toxic, manipulative, narcissistic individuals. All right. So I hope I made it clear enough, guys. If you enjoyed the video, take a moment to drop us a like. If you're new here, also take a moment to subscribe so you could be notified when we upload. We do our best to upload every single day. We discuss narcissism, spirituality, and the personal development on this channel. So if any of that appeals to you, then by all means stick around because there's plenty more to come. All right. Also, take a moment to share these messages with loved ones, share these messages with friends, and also share your thoughts in the comments. All right. If there's anything I didn't add or you would like to add, by all means, use the comment section to add it. All right, and let's all continue to learn together. All right, so let me leave this one here, guys. So until next one, peace, love, and more life.